you have anything else to tell us?
Is there anyone living there now?
I don't believe so. No, I don't know.
You understand that area can't be occupied until remedial action is taken.
Mr. President, based on the fact this appears to be a single-family home, being taxed as a single-family home, the ceiling heights in the basement are such that if there was an emergency, it would make it very difficult for a firefighter to go down there and put everybody over their shoulder and carry them out. I'm going to make a motion that the findings in order be affirmed and the basement apartment at 5965 High Flat be removed.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And that's for a status of 90 days. We just overcome the language barrier and make sure that we understand what needs to be done.
June 27th, Mr. President.
June 27th it is. That's the gentleman you need to talk to.
Oh,
Okay,
Thank you.
for coming. Rental registration, 1337 170.
I would like to appeal, if I could, the late registration fee for this property for the year 2012. This is property that I took ownership of after the death of my mother in June of 2011. I paid the rental registration for 2011, contracted with some tenants. During 2012, there were complications with my mother's estate and probate and getting the deed straightened out. Additionally, the renters fell behind, had to take them to court. I was receiving lawyers' fees and not receiving rent, and so the rental registration fee didn't get paid in 2012. Since then, I've been able to get the lawyer all paid off and make new payment arrangements with the tenants, so I am prepared to pay the registration fee for 2012, 2013, get all caught up on that, but the $500 late fee is going to be a burden.
President, the city's records reflect that the water bill has been mailed to 7599 Patty Drive in Middle Lake, Minnesota from 2005 to 2012. This property is receiving an illegal homestead exemption, and no registration occurred at 7, 8, 9, 10, or 12. So the only year it was registered was 2011.
It was, can you clarify what records you're talking about being sent to 7599 Patty Drive? Because
Water bill?
that has not been sent since my mother passed away in June of 2011, so all the water bills and everything, I didn't own this property until after her death in June of 2011, so.
Did she live there herself until that time?
Pardon me?
Did she live at that address?
Oh,
until
yes.
that time?
Yes, she lived at that address until her death in June of 2011, so I'm not clear on what you're looking at
The
there.
water department says that they've been mailing the bills to you since 2005. The water department.
Well, that's incorrect. I haven't been,
Mr. Stromberg, this is a single-family home.
yes, sir.
Did you receive rent in 2012?
Yes, some.
And before that, it sounds like their rents were not received at the property your mother was occupying.
That's correct.
Mr. President, I'm going to make a motion that Mr. Stromberg's appeal be granted and that the unit be registered at the regular rate of $80 for 2012 and 2013. So long as the unit is registered by the end of business today,
Okay,
I make the motion that those fees be waived.
okay.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you for coming. 4212 Henry. And this is a rental registration matter also.
Yes, sir. My name is Alfonso Menchaca. The property is owned by my wife. We were not aware that there was a registration require for the city of Hammond, due to the fact that the property was not being rented, is being occupied by my nephew free of rent. I understand that there was some violations there for a while, and as soon as we found out about them, we corrected those. And my reason for being here today is to appeal to the board that the penalties are waived and that we are allowed to register at the regular rental rate, yearly rate.
Single-family home,
Yes, it is.
there's only one unit,
Yes,
and your nephew is living there currently?
yes.
Mr. Menchaca, do you claim a homestead on this property?
I don't think so, no.
Well, if I would tell you the county's records reflect that you claim this is a homestead, would you consider that?
I would.
I'll contact the county.
Pay rent there?
No. I've never paid rent.
Mr. Menchaca, would you be adverse to signing an affidavit that you have a family member that's living there rent-free?
I will not be adverse, sir, no.
Okay, then I'm going to make the motion that, subject to the completion of a affidavit stating this is a family member living in a home rent-free, that the action at 4212 Henry be dismissed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, for Mr. Rusinek, 4904 to 4906 Ash, he requests a continuance of the May 4, 2013 hearing. How about May 18th?
Mr. O'Connor, if I may, President?
Yes.
We've had an issue with this property since I had a fire, I believe, in 2010. Understanding that people were squatting in there. The only time we see Mr. Resnick is when we cited him for failure to register, and the appeal was here. We went to do an inspection at the property. He canceled on us then. The condition of the property is such that
How about if we continue it to April 25th?
I believe it is set for April 25th. That's what,
No, it's
exactly.
set for May the 4th, according to his correspondence.
And I don't know where that date came from. It is on the order to repair or demolish list. That is set for April 25th.
That's fine, we'll proceed on April 25th.
Was this his request to have this?
Yes.
That's a Saturday.
It's been, it's the way he's been operating since we've ran into this problem.
I'm going to make the motion that his request for May 4th hearing be denied.
Thank you.
And we want to notify him and confirm that the hearing is April 25th, so we don't have, okay.
Will do.
Next, the rental registration hearings requested for 3527 164th. May 2nd is fine. Next is a hearing on a business license denial for Exit 1 Tobacco, DBA The Tobacco Superstore.
Mr. President, that's 7509 Italian Red, through 7531 Italian Red. As you know, the board denied a license for back on July 19th of last year. There is a new owner who wishes to open up a cigarette store there. However, the board of works has requested information, and they requested 2 weeks to get that information, which is maybe the 18th.
What's it set for May 18th?
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay, May 18th it is.
May or April?
April 8th.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Next, for Mr. Gleason, he advises placement of no parking signs on 149th Street, Calumet Avenue to Cedar Street for a 90-day trial period. That communication is acknowledged. Next, from the World of Pentecost Ministries, they would want to hold a block party May 4th, 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Is there a motion to approve that request?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next, Ms. April Nelson of 3108 171st. They want to hold a graduation open house Saturday, June 8th, 5 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m.
I move to approve the request.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The East Side Community Council wishes to hold a Maywood Community Baseball Opening Day Parade Saturday, May 25th.
I move that the parade route be approved.
Second.
All in favor? Garage sale permits for 7412 Oakdale and 7317 Grand for approval.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the garage sale permit.
All in favor? Matters from board members. Department heads, new business, old business, public expression. Anyone wishing to address the board? Now's the opportunity.
Okay, go ahead. I know this is part of the Councilman Higgs just did come in and sign in, and probably put his note away. I would just say before you adjourn. Okay.
Public expression is open even for city councilmen.
Good morning. The first issue is the owner of the Giros place on Columbia Avenue. In the driveway, there are some axles are actually placed there, preventing the customers from going through the drive-through. So we're trying to get them removed so his business can thrive. Our purpose. What's your address?
6621 Columbia.
It's parking blocks.
He knows.
The other problem is that, remove the parking blocks, there's a pothole about that big, about that deep, that I believe caused the parking blocks to be there now. Legends, the Euros, my understanding is that Legends put the blocks there, I assume to stop people from hitting that pothole. I advise the gentleman, if we can get the pothole fixed, moving the blocks, is absolutely, no problem at all. But, moving the blocks, we got the pothole.
I have a picture if you want to.
Shoot,
Are the blocks on public right of way or are they
it's
on?
all private property,
Then what do we have to do with it?
not much.
Who initially put them there?
I don't know, my understanding is Gus,
Whoever you,
I don't see Gus dragging them over there, but somebody put them over there. We need the pothole filled, we move the blocks, we're going to the pothole.
Whose blocks are they? Are they city blocks?
My understanding from him is that they were pulled up from Legends. I don't know that as fact.
the Legends building? No.
So we have two safety issues. Now, if someone tries to pull in there, they're gonna hit the blocks. Remove the blocks, they're gonna hit the pothole.
Are-
The pothole,
I'd rather
remove
have
the blocks,
pothole
we're fixed.
Is this location all private property?
That's correct.
If I had a choice, but
How many people now from the city?
It's past the curb.
That's correct.
Mr. President, if I might, I believe whenever a business opens in the city of Hammond, the Board of Public Works and Safety, through the Planning Commission, that has the approval for the traffic cameras through the building, through the site. Is that correct, Stan?
If the fire department wants to come in, how are you going to
In
get it?
this case, I believe the traffic pattern through this gentleman's site could fall under the auspices of the responsibilities of the Board of Public Works and Safety. As such, it appears to me that a third party
give it to Rick.
has impeded the traffic pattern on this gentleman's property. It's been approved at some point by this board or through the Department of Planning and Development.
And he's willing to fix the hole.
I got no problem with that, as long as I get the permission to remove.
You want the owner of Legends to remove the barriers they put up.
I can fix the pothole.
Mr. President, perhaps we should send a letter, because if there's an ambulance or a fire truck.
There you
or a
go.
police
He's not going to be able to
car
come in.
Who is used to speeding through there, they're gonna speed right through there and run into a block.
That's exactly my point. Is we establish these means of egress and ingress through sites, through the site plan approval process. And at that point, that egress or ingress that at some point we approved has now been impeded. So,
I believe if the pothole's filled, the blocks could be removed, and I don't think anyone's gonna be, upset about that.
And
That's
the-
what Euro sees if you want, we gotta get those blocks.
Yeah, and the thing is it's sitting on top of the pothole, so it needs to be removed so he can fix the pothole.
It still sounds to me like it's between him and the other property owner, because if you own half of the driveway, you're saying, you can't take only half of the blocks out, because somebody's gonna run over the
I
other.
understand perfectly. Mr.
You guys
Landy,
need to get together and work that out.
there's-
I agree, Stan, on that level. Northcott Avenue between 160th and 167th is private property. It's not owned by the city of Hammond. However, if somebody were to go onto Northcott Avenue between 165th and 167th and blockade it, the city would certainly and most definitely have a responsibility to remove those blocks immediately to provide for the ingress and egress on Northcott that we approved during the site plan process of that whole development. Just because this gentleman's development is smaller than, you know, the Walmart and Food for Less development does not mean we should render him any less attention than we would for Northcott Avenue.
When did you open the business there?
15 years ago.
Oh, so this is something,
North of Legends.
when did the blocks go up?
3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago.
My concern, Mr. President, is I don't want a police car who's responding to an emergency and is used to cutting through there to run into a block and injure an officer.
Understood, versus, but at the same time, we don't want to run in the pothole that's going to break an axle. This is
I can fix
a hard pothole.
I can fix the pothole immediately, as long as I get the approval to remove the,
As I stated then, fill the pothole, move the blocks.
well, I give permission, that's why I left them there.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
And whatever Mr. Lyon says, that's for a, special for the fire department or police to go through.
If I don't move the blocks, if there's a complaint about moving the blocks after that pothole's filled, then we can address it at that time. But certainly it can't remain the way it is either way. Move the blocks, you have a pothole.
Or address the,
Address the pothole, move the blocks, and if there's a complaint, then we can certainly take care of it at that point. I think the board and are all on the same page as far as there's a safety issue here. Either way we go right now.
Mr. President, I think the blockage of the egress ingress path and the pothole to mutually exclusive issues. If on Northcott Avenue, I'll use my analogy again, somebody barricaded it with concrete blocks,
But Bobby, he doesn't own the whole driveway.
and Northcott Avenue is owned by one party or the other, it's split between, the east side of Northcott Avenue is owned by Walmart, and the west side of Northcott Avenue is owned by Food for Less. If Food for Less,
If your neighbor blocks his driveway off, you can't go move the block.
but my driveway was not an
No, your
ingress.
neighbor's driveway.
Right, but it was not an ingress egress path that was approved at some point by the city.
exactly.
Have you had any discussion with the owner from Legends about this?
We got into it because he has financial problems. So, you know, it was something personal, me and him, due to the snow removal. He don't want to pay. I guess he didn't have no business. I don't know what's going on. And that's why we got into it. So, in order for him to try to extort money to use in my driveway, and he extra money, which is my property, and then instead of like piss me, how can I put it? Piss me off or do whatever he did, he put the blacks there in the middle of the night. And without even telling me anything.
Sounds like you've reached an impasse.
Yes.
And the reality of it, like Attorney Cantor said, the reality of it is we don't want an officer or an ambulance service to hit that and cause major injuries, but unnecessarily, and it's uncalled for. I mean, the reality of it is it needs to be removed.
Entrance there, so then somebody would assume that they could drive in there.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Been
And
there
what,
for 40 years.
And they're like right on the property line, so.
I'd like to make a motion that a letter be sent from the Board of Public Works and Safety to the property owners of Columbia Europe and Legends that any barriers to ingress or egress that have been placed there be removed immediately.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. We'll get this off the ground.
Thank you.
got one other issue on 1000 block, you're welcome. 1000 block of Morris and Highland in the alley. She's had numerous burglaries in her property. We're trying to get some additional lighting in the alley. There are a number of places within my district that needs additional lighting, and I keep sending requests. So if we can expedite this and get this completed, it would be greatly appreciated. Because how many times have you been broken in? Twice.
Is there a go home in the back of her house?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do we have your address?
I can write it down. Well, I've got 1,000 blocks of Morris Highland.
10,000.
That's,
10th block, it's, Hammond, Indiana,
Like
it's not
1000.
Highland.
1000.
You probably shouldn't say it out loud. But
It's
you
Highland,
should
and
give us what, yeah, write down the address so that I can give it to Frank, and Frank can go take a look and see what, how close
Okay.
the pole is.
All right.
okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any others for public expression?
Move to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.